Hey, so is speedrunning hard on Monster Hunter? I'm asking this question because after looking at some videos, I tried it myself and it went completely wrong. But after a bit of trying, I realized that there are lots of ways to make it way easier. So the goal of this video is to give you tricks and tools that you can use yourself to apply to your own hunts, either if you want to try a new challenge and speedrun yourself, or if you just want to make your hunts faster and more easier. A quick disclaimer before we start. There are two ways of speedrunning in Monster Hunter. The first one is TA Wiki and the second one is freestyle. For the first one, TA Wiki, it's actually only you with your weapon without any outside helps. It's really hard, it takes a lot of practice on RNG farming, it takes a lot of game knowledge, etc. I have nothing to tell you about this type of running because it's highly skill dependent. The second one, freestyle, you can rely on your buddies, either Palamute or Palico. You can use traps, flash bombs, you can use puppet spider, any type of toads like sleeping toad, paratoad, etc. These types of tools make your hunts very easier. For this video, we will only talk about freestyle running. So now that we get that out of the way, we can actually talk about speedrunning. One of the first thing and the most important is having the right setup. It's a very obvious one. I won't go too much in depth about this in this video because it's covered in lots of videos already that are pretty good on YouTube. So by setup, I mean having the right build for the specific monsters that you're hunting, having the right food that goes with your build, the good item loadout with the right buff and traps and tools that we will talk about, and having a very comfortable keybind setting if you're using keyboard and mouse, or a comfortable radial menu setting if you're using a controller. And also having the right setup for your buddies. And I will go in depth about that in the next section. So after you get the right setup for the specific monster that you're trying to hunt or speedrun, what is the most important thing? You have to keep in mind that you need to establish a good chain of crowd control, or CC chain. It's really important, and I will go over one of my runs to explain you the process and how to do it. So, in order to establish a good CC chain, it's all about momentum and how to keep the aggression on the monster so you flinch and get CC'd more often. It all starts with the opening, which is very important. In every opening on every monster, the monster will shout. It's a big window so you can DPS. If you DPS enough during this window, it will do a second shout, and you can even DPS more. This idea applies to bow, but as you can see, you can use it on every weapon. Also thanks to Papa Radio that allowed me to use this footage. So I really encourage you to work on your openings on every monster to start the hunt with a good momentum that will allow you to keep the CC chain going. So if you succeeded in your opening, you are really close to getting your first fall, either by hitting the leg or breaking the head in certain monster, or hitting the monster while he's trying to fly away. And now what you want to do is just capitalize on this opening by doing as much damage as you can. And now something really important is to do an aerial attack very early in the fight. I will explain to you why. So the new addition to Sunbreak to buff the doggo was to add the silk bind on the Palamute, and an aerial attack triggers the silk bind. So what you want to do is to set up your Palamute as shown on screen right now. I am using a paralysis weapon on the Palamute to get as much para as I can in a quick fight, but I've seen a lot of speedrunners using also the silk bind to have some big opening if you're using like the great sword and like weapons like that. Now that I've done my aerial attack, the next thing I'm focusing on, and I think that's specific to bow but also all the weapons that stand, is to get the stun as fast as I can. So I'm just applying pressure on the head. After I get the stun, I will do a second aerial attack. This will trigger the mount flinch. And I will decide if I'm using this mount flinch to bang the head of the monster on a wall to make it fall, or just to set up my trap. It really depends on the fight and how much damage I'm applying to the monster. Since I've done my aerial attack to trigger the Silverbrand from my Palamute, I know that the paralysis is coming shortly, and I'm just hoping that it will happen during the trap, and most of the time it does. So if all goes well, I know that I'm heading toward the end of the fight, and I just had to set up my second trap and apply the rest of the damage. Since I've already used my trank shots on the first trap, I don't have to do it on the second one. I just do damage to end the fight. What I just showed you is called a script. It's made so the fight is not relying on RNG, but is relied on specific tricks and tools and game mechanics that you use efficiently to stunlock the monster, to make the CC chain. It's really satisfying to me when you design a script, apply it to a monster and succeed. For this fight, the Diablos, the monster didn't even shout once. He didn't do anything for the entire fight. And I don't know, but I just think it's very satisfying to me. So yeah, there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you learned a thing or two. It was the first time for me that I do voiceover, and like English is not my language, so I hope you will forgive me for that. Okay, see you later.